Welcome to Reykjavík, Iceland, September 9th, 2022. Hey everyone, I'm Patrick from Oakland Travel. Deck 9, starboard side, Voyager of the Seas, a junior suite balcony. And it's raining in Reykjavík as we are coming into port, which is probably not a surprise, I guess, given where we are. I guess they get this kind of weather quite a bit. So just kind of happy to be here, really, on this cruise. Back then, this was our first repositioning cruise, taking the Voyager of the Seas from Copenhagen, Denmark, over to Boston, Massachusetts, with a stop in Kristiansand, Norway, 2 stops in Iceland. One was at Akureyri, and then, of course, right here at Reykjavík. And then after this, we would head over to Greenland, and we would do our one and only port stop in Greenland at Qaqortoq, which would require a tender because they don't have cruise pier. And then we cruised through an area in southern Greenland they call the Prins Kristiansand. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then over to Boston, Massachusetts. So a pretty cool little deal. Flew over to Copenhagen to board the ship. Had some had some issues there because back in 2022, they had a lot of issues with luggage, and we got hit by that. As we were flying from Orlando all the way over to Copenhagen, we ended up having to take 3 different flights, one from Orlando up to Atlanta, Atlanta to Amsterdam, and then Amsterdam up to Copenhagen. And we had the little Apple AirTags in the luggage, and everything was good until we got to Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam. And we boarded one of these little Scandinavian Airways jets to go over to Copenhagen. And Scandinavian Airways couldn't figure out how to bring my wife's piece of luggage along with us. And so her luggage stayed back in Amsterdam. And it was a mess. But Royal Caribbean really stepped up. Helped us out tremendously. They actually arranged with Scandinavian Airways to have the bag flown up to Reykjavík and brought to the ship because the ship was going to be docked here in Reykjavík for a day and a half. So we get here right around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we don't leave until like 5 o'clock-ish the next day. And so there was enough time there for them to get the bag up to Reykjavík and get it brought to the ship, which was really cool because she had everything in her suitcase for the second half of the cruise. We had to go to a store in Copenhagen that's called Bilka, B-I-L-K-A. And it's kind of like the American version of Walmart over there. And we were able to buy everything we needed. And thank goodness we had cruise travel insurance for this because we had to do a claim when we got home and everything. So lots of fun, stories to tell kind of thing. But Reykjavík was really cool. Got to do some really neat shore excursions. We got to go to the Blue Lagoon. Got to see a lot of the country over the course of the kind of day and a half that we were here. So as the title of the vlog episode indicates, we have a Fred Olsen ship in port. You see that little white building to the right and behind on the other side of the ship, the Fred Olsen ship? That little white building over there, it looks like a big tent. That is actually their cruise terminal here in Reykjavík. I guess most of the traffic they get from ships is cargo related and not so much cruise related. And so that little white tent you see right there on the left side of the screen, kind of on the other side of the Fred Olsen, here's their cruise terminal. And we had some interesting times dealing with that once we actually got off the Voyager of the Seas, but we'll cover that in future vlog episodes.